Arlington, Texas, April 26. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell announces a pick by the San Francisco 49ers during the first round of the 2018 NFL Draft. Edit. Photo by Tom Pennington, Getty Images. The San Francisco 49ers don't have to worry too much about reinforcing their linebacker core anymore this offseason, especially after the team inked free agent linebacker Kwon Alexander to a 4-year deal. Alexander is coming off a 2018 ACL tear, so the Niners may still want to think about depth. The good news, though, is at least they improved one of the many positions at which they were short last season. And after trading for edge D Ford, San Francisco can also relax just a bit when it comes to addressing the pass rush too. Many of the 49ers' other moves in NFL free agency, however, were more of the short-term and stopgap variety. It's not likely general manager John Lynch and head coach Kyle Shanahan are going to pin long-term hopes on oft-injured cornerback Jason Verrett headlining a secondary in need of help. Wide receiver Jordan Matthews, whom the Niners also grabbed, might also provide some assistance to a crop of players, none of which reached 500 receiving yards a year ago. But like the case with Verrett, it's anyone's guess whether or not Matthews will wind up being the key fix Shanahan's offense so desperately needs here. San Francisco owns the No. 2 overall pick in this April's NFL Draft. There are only a handful of players Lynch may consider targeting here, barring a trade down. That hopefully addresses another need, sure, but things will start to get interesting in rounds 2 and 3, where the 49ers are slated to pick at nos. 36 and 67 overall, respectively. With that as the backdrop, here are the Niners' top 3 priorities for the draft. Page 2 Kansas City, Mo, in November 11th, D Ford. Photo by Jamie Squire, Getty Images. Trading for D Ford helps alleviate a lot of the concerns the 49ers have for their pass rush in 2019. After finishing last year with just 37 sacks, tied for 22nd in the NFL, the Niners needed to reinforce this crop in a major way. Especially with defensive tackle DeForest Buckner, who led the defense with 12 of those sacks, provided pass rushing thump from the interior. Hitting the offseason, the Niners' pass rush might have been the No. 1 need. After all, a quality edge rusher is arguably the second most important spot behind a quarterback on a team's roster. Understanding Ford's role helps push this need down a bit, NBC Sports Bay Area's Jennifer Lee Chan described. The draft is deep at edge rusher, and having Ford on the roster gives the team some flexibility to possibly trade down a few spots. They could subsequently add to their number of draft selections, which currently stands at 6. Ford will fit into Robert Saleh's defensive scheme easily. He knows he has one job when he's on the field. John Lynch also noted during Ford's introductory press conference how he sees the pass rusher occupying the Leo weak side edge rushing spot. It's possible the 49ers stay put at No. 2, perhaps grabbing Ohio State edge Nick Bosa, who would ideally be pegged to handle those duties there, too, moving Ford to the opposite side on passing downs. Likewise, since the draft is so deep with pass rushers, it's not out of the realm of possibility to see San Francisco trade out of that spot and address other areas of need, knowing it has a quality pass rusher and doesn't need to make this as big a priority as it was before. Next, No. 2, wide receiver. Page 3 PHILADELPHI, October 23, Jordan Matthews. Photo by Mitchell F. Getty Images. There are far more question marks among the 49ers' crop of wide receivers than there are with the pass rush, pushing this need ahead of those amid the defensive front seven. Most know the story by now. No Niners wideout reached 500 receiving yards in 2018. And while second-year pro Dante Pettis looks promising, and one could hope for a bounce-back year from slot receiver Trent Taylor, getting some long-term production from an up-and-coming wide receiver should also be high on San Francisco's NFL draft to-do list. Fortunately, this year's crop of prospective wideouts is pretty deep. Many, including Georgia's Riley Ridley and South Carolina's Deebo Samuel, could immediately help with the Niners' red zone woes, too. They'll likely be available in round 2, perhaps later. Oh, and the 49ers also finished dead last in red zone touchdown efficiency last year. Signing Jordan Matthews to a one-year deal might work. At 6'3" and 206 pounds, he's the big-bodied threat Kyle Shanahan needs on offense. He also ran a sub-4.50 time at his NFL scouting combine back in 2014, and he has good agility as well. Still, Matthews may not be the long-term solution Shanahan seeks. The last 2 years combined netted him a mere 582 receiving yards in total, and it's anyone's guess whether or not that's a sign of things to come. As such, don't be shocked if the Niners use one of their Day 2 NFL draft picks to address this need. Page 4 GRE and Bay, Y, October 15, Jimmy Ward. Photo by Stacey Revere, Getty Images. One might argue the 49ers have needs all over their secondary, perhaps both cornerback and free safety being of equal concern. But what pushes the safety spot well atop the needs at cornerback is the fact the Niners have more bodies of starting caliber at the latter, including Ahkello Witherspoon, Richard Sherman, Kwan Williams and Jason Barrett. Meanwhile, only Jimmy Ward and Adrian Colbert should be penciled in at safety. Both also landed on injured reserve last season. Yet the thing that truly separates free safety from the crop of cornerbacks, including the fact San Francisco's defensive backfield was ranked dead last a year ago by Pro Football Focus, is that the safety spot is inherently more important in coordinator Robert Saleh's Cover 3, single-high defense. A free safety's ability to showcase both range and instincts helps cut down on the number of mistakes and coverage gaffes made by a cornerback. This was more than problematic last year, and it's one of the reasons now Baltimore Ravens safety Earl Thomas was such a high-profile target for the 49ers in NFL free agency. With Thomas no longer an option, one might expect the Niners to grab someone in the NFL draft. Perhaps Delaware's Nasir Adderley, who has showcased a lot of Thomas's abilities at the college level, comes into play. Next, 5 remaining free agents 49ers can still target for 2019. The 2019 NFL Draft kicks off on Thursday, April 25 from Nashville, Tennessee.